Now on Coast TV News.
Wind opposition, the lengthy battle over the proposed wind farm off of our coast. What is taking place today in a community that is part of a lawsuit?
Ecology efforts, the grant money awarded to several local projects, and how it is expected to help the environment.
Good Thursday morning, Delmarva. It's a chilly start in the 40s. Grab the coat today. It's going to be a brisk, sunny day. I'll have details on how long the cool temperatures stick around.
Beaten in Alabama.
Backs in, touchdown.
A Blue Hens trip to Jacksonville State ends with a second straight loss.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And it is Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
Definitely a windbreaker for the morning.
Yes.
Maybe something heavier, just saying.
In some areas, you might want a heavier jacket than a windbreaker. But yesterday afternoon was beautiful. It was warm outside. It was
I
a
went
nice
for a
reward.
walk.
I did as well. It was a nice reward for that crazy weather we had earlier in the week. And Chris, hopefully we're going to stay on the dry path of weather. That's just what Matt and I want, especially for the weekend.
Yeah.
Hey there, Lisa and Matt. A pleasant good morning, Delmarva. Yeah, it's going to be a brisk day today. And in fact, stepping outside the door this morning, it is a chilly, breezy start. We're at 54 in Lewis. In fact, that's one of our milder locations. We're a bit milder at the coast, but check this out. 24-hour temperature change. We're about 13 degrees cooler in Dover, 11 degrees cooler in Georgetown, and 13 degrees cooler in Ocean City, all thanks to that cold front that pushed through yesterday. We're holding at 48 Georgetown, 47 Bridgeville, 48 Gumboro, and 55 in Bethany Beach. You can see the wind flow out of the north-northeast. 32-mile-an-hour gusts there, Indian River Inlet, 23 in Bethany Beach. We are clear, dry, under the influence of high pressure. We have cool, dry Canadian air filtering down the East Coast, and that's going to create a beautiful day across Delmarva. Wall-to-wall sunshine, highs only reaching the low 60s this afternoon, and it will be quite breezy with those winds upwards of 20 to 30 miles an hour. We're going to have that fall chill at least to round out the week. We're going to stay dry through the weekend and moderate those temperatures back into the 70s over the weekend, and it's not until late Sunday into Monday where we see our next chance of rain. Coming up, we'll talk about the rest of your 7-day forecast here in a little bit. Matt.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Chris. Our top story this hour. Later this morning, Fenwick Island's Environmental Committee is expected to review an update on offshore wind. Today's meeting takes place 2 weeks after a judge denied the Trump administration's motion to stall the case during the government shutdown, meaning the lawsuit with U.S. Wind will continue. Fenwick Island is a plaintiff along with Ocean City. It's a lawsuit challenging alternative energy company U.S. Wind's attempt to build a wind farm off of our coast and use Delaware resources for power cables connecting to an electric substation.
This just in, Delaware lawmakers are taking new steps to crack down on chronic drunk driving. A newly formed task force meets today to begin tackling the issue with a packed agenda focused on prevention and accountability. According to that agenda, lawmakers are expected to review key data on arrests and convictions under Delaware's DUI laws. The group could also look at the potential law change and use new technology to detect drug-related impairment. And for more information on what lawmakers will do with that information they gather, you can head to the article on CoastTVnews.com.
Also new this morning, Delmarva Power and Sustainable Maryland are awarding $45,000 to 4 organizations they say are focused on environmental stewardship and community resiliency.
According to Delmarva Power, the Delaware Center for the Inland Base is receiving $10,000 for a Bays to Backyards community program. Millsboro is receiving $10,000 to install an emergency generator that keeps water and wastewater services running during storms.
And the First State Community Action Agency in Georgetown also receiving $10,000 to build a new community resiliency park and outdoor learning space.
Happening today in Georgetown, the new Supportive Housing Issues Committee will gather once again to discuss how to work with existing supportive housing in the town. Supportive housing is for people recovering from substance use disorders or those who came out of jail and remain on parole, among others. On the agenda today, a review of town codes and service provided and agencies. One of the 10 members is Trish Hill, Program Manager at Georgetown Pallet Village.
I think the important thing is to have the community involved. Without the community support, nothing is going to get solved. So with the entire community involved, I think we can come together and have some consensus, and I think that people will at least feel their voices are heard.
According to the group, the goal is not to add more, but to make sure resources are being used best and get people out of the streets. Today's meeting will take place at 4 o'clock.
Happening tonight, a local event in Lewis to help adults learn how to protect children from abuse and neglect. The Bo Biden Foundation for the Protection of Children is hosting a free public session. This is from 4 to 5 at the public library. Organizers say the training is designed to give adults the knowledge and confidence to recognize, report, and prevent abuse. Attendees will learn about Delaware's mandatory reporting laws, how to spot warning signs, and how to respond if a child says they've been harmed.
Delaware Governor Matt Meyer and other state leaders are gathering in Milford today to celebrate a major investment in affordable housing. This is to kick off the Mississippian Station 2 project. Organizers say the effort will rehabilitate 32 existing apartments and add 16 new affordable units on South Walnut Street. This is made possible by $3.4 million from Delaware's newest low-income housing tax credit awards. State leaders say funding will create and preserve more than 100 affordable homes in Wilmington, Lewis, Georgetown, and Milford.
Starting today in Maryland, hunters can head out to their favorite areas for the first part of muzzleloader deer season. According to the state, it runs until Saturday, and then from October 20th through the 25th, the season resumes. According to the Department of Natural Resources, Wildlife and Heritage Services, the season is in the eastern, central, and southern regions of the state.
This week, DELDOT will begin work on the Rehoboth Avenue Bridge over the canal. That's the area you see right here on your screen. The agency says the work is a part of a statewide bridge painting program. DELDOT says Rehoboth Avenue will see shifts and closures Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. There will be detours, though, to help drivers get around. They say the work will begin Friday, October 17th and take place until early 2026.
We're now taking a live look at Washington, D.C., north of 10,000. White House says that's the number of federal government layoffs that could happen during this shutdown. And new overnight, a federal judge has temporarily blocked the president from firing those workers.
And as the government shutdown moves into its third week, NBC's Alice Barr shows us how more federal workers are looking for help to make ends meet.
As the government shutdown drags on, the stakes are ramping up.
We're getting rid of a lot of things that we never wanted.
And prompting a new legal battle. A federal judge temporarily blocking the Trump administration from laying off federal workers during the shutdown, even as White House Budget Director Russell Vought promised to pick up the pace from the 4,000 already cut this shutdown.
It could grow higher. I think we'll probably end up being north of 10,000.
Vought is a longtime advocate for shrinking the federal government, and Democrats argue the new threats are a continuation of his plan all along.
These employees have been traumatized, in Russ Vought's word, by this administration since Inauguration Day. These are illegal firings.
Two unions sued to prevent the firings that a federal judge in California has now agreed are illegal, writing in part that the Trump administration has, quote, taken advantage of the lapse in government spending and government functioning to assume that all bets are off and the laws don't apply to them anymore. As the fight grows from the courts to Capitol Hill, where Democrats and Republicans are deadlocked over how to reopen the government, everyday people are suffering. Food banks seeing a surge in need. Workers at this one in Alabama describing the struggles of one federal worker family.
They're not getting a paycheck, and this has never happened to them before, and they were embarrassed and humiliated and terrified.
Real-world impacts with no end in sight. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening today, a full evening of fun is expected at the Lewis Fire Department. The agency will host its 6th annual open house from 4 to 8 p.m. According to organizers, there will be a children's design contest, live demonstrations, and equipment displays. People can enjoy music and food from local restaurants. The open house will take place at Station 2.
Wednesday night football for the Delaware Blue Hens. It was a rough Wednesday at Jacksonville State. The Hens spotted the defending Conference USA champs a 35-6 lead and losing 38-25 to the Gamecocks. Second straight loss for Delaware as they fall back to 500 at 3-3. And we'll have more on this game later on Coast TV News Today.
And we're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News.
Yeah, coming up, oysters to prevent erosion. How that and other tips from the Delaware Center for the Inland Bays.
Also, new requirements could risk access. We'll tell you how the Food Bank of Delaware says some locals could be impacted.
In this week's Coastal Connections, we'll show you a Delaware teacher who's finding new ways to connect with students. And first, we'll check. Oh, we'll have that as Coast TV News Today continues.
Every teacher makes a difference, but some of them do find a way to break through, to really connect with their students. And in today's Coastal Connections, we take a look at one teacher, a new young fresh face in the education game, who's finding a way to stand out. Over at Sussex Central High School, something fun is happening.
That was so much better. I actually heard your voices that time.
Something loud and something animated. Thomas Oxborough is a Year 2 teacher. He's the choir director, the assistant marching band director, and he also works with the school's drum line. But it's the way he does it that's drawing attention.
1, 2, 3. It's really the energy of the kids. When I'm working with them and the music's just really sounding good, it feeds into my energy for the day.
With flailing arms and perfect tempo, Oxborough is connecting with his students.
You got it so close, you just rushed it a little bit. Making music is supposed to be fun. This is a class where we're learning all these different strategies and we're being academics, but we're also socializing. We're supposed to be having fun in the process. 1, 2, here we go.
Oxborough fostered his love of both music and education right here on Delmarva as a graduate of Indian River High School.
A lot of my past teachers, I really enjoyed a lot of the passion that they put into it, the musical experiences that I got to work in.
Crash. And now he's bringing his high-energy form of teaching to the next generation, along with a belief that what happens out on the field can translate into the classroom.
Music has a really strong power in doing so for everybody and keeping them focused throughout their other academics and their other daily lifestyles. So I really bring this energy into the music field here because of that.
Inevitably, some of the students that cross through Mr. Oxborough's classes will be inspired. Maybe they'll even pursue music after high school.
When they have a teacher that approaches them and shares a passion for music, it's almost infectious.
But most of them won't. Still, he feels like what students learn about music will help them in life.
It's a win.
33 to 39. Which is part of the reason Mr. Oxborough is such an advocate for music programs.
I only have this for one time. Protect the arts. Please protect the arts. Cherish the arts. Fund the arts.
A passion that bleeds through when he's with his students out on the field.
When I'm working with my drum line and they're just really in the groove, they're locked in the pocket, and I just find myself really grooving with it because my groove feeds off the energy with them. So now we're just going back and forth and we're gonna see where the energy takes us. Sky's the limit with it.
After all, isn't that what you want from your teachers?
I feel like I just get so encaptured in the music.
Genuine excitement and enthusiasm.
I'm really seeing the hard work y'all putting into it. I'm seeing y'all practice, so I'm really appreciating this right now.
Because between teaching, planning,
it's kind of what the drill will look like,
participating, and whatever this is, Thomas Oxborough has it.
Time is 5:18 and we're getting a live look at the quiet scene along the canal in Lewis. And First Alert meteorologist Chris Masterbono's here. Cooler weather, Chris, and we're looking at sunny skies ahead of the weekend.
Oh yeah, we're looking at a beautiful stretch of weather to round out the week and into the weekend, and quite cool, well below average here over the next 2 days. Some of our cool spots this morning: Harrington coming in at 45, Bridgeville 47, 48 Laurel, 47 Millsboro, and we are at 55 in Rehoboth Beach. It's quite breezy at this hour, especially along the coast with that wind coming off the ocean. Gusts 24 in Rehoboth, 34 Indian River Inlet, and it's going to be a rather brisk afternoon. We still have small craft advisories up off the Delaware coast. Those run through 6 o'clock Friday with winds upwards of 25 miles an hour over the ocean. 7 o'clock that runs through Ocean City and to Chicotee, and then the Bayside we're up through about noon on Friday. Look at that. We have some frost advisories up by Lancaster, Lebanon counties, York, Pennsylvania. I don't think we'll see any frost tonight. Possible Friday night into Saturday. I think it's going to be too breezy tonight, but it's going to be a cold night at that. High pressure over the Great Lakes, funneling in that cool, dry air right down the East Coast. And this air mass is going to be quite dry here over the next few days. You can see the dew point 43. We're at 55 right now in Rehoboth, so plenty of sunshine through the morning sunrise, 7:12 this morning, and plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. Highs only reaching, as I mentioned, low 60s, and with those winds picking up out of the northwest at about 20 to 25 miles an hour. So Futurecast shows the clear skies through the afternoon and into the evening. Tomorrow morning, some of us, I think, western portions of the county, interior portions of Delmarva, starting in the upper 30s. Plenty of sunshine for our Friday. Once again, still on the cool side with temperatures in the low 60s. By Saturday morning, clear skies. Winds will be a bit calmer. Think maybe we see some patchy frost there through away from the coast. There's those gusts, as I mentioned, afternoon gusts upwards of 25, 35 miles an hour this afternoon, and continuing into the overnight and into early Friday. I think by Friday afternoon, the winds relax a bit, so we're not as breezy into Friday. Good news is we stay dry right through the weekend. It's Sunday night into Monday is when we're really focusing on our next chance of rain, and then we could see an isolated shower there late Tuesday into Wednesday. But a gorgeous weekend. 68 Saturday under partly cloudy skies. I think we'll see more clouds late Sunday, but milder with a south wind of 11 miles an hour. There's the rain moving in late Sunday night through Monday, and it's a brief bout of rain. Could see some moderate to heavier rain into early Monday morning, but we dry out into Tuesday and the sunshine returns. We're at 62 this afternoon, below average temperatures. Average high this time of year around 69, 39 overnight. Cold and breezy, 63, and our Friday we stay nice and dry and pleasant through the weekend, 68, 75 milder, and in fact that's going to be the mildest day over the next 7, 67 on Monday as we clear by the afternoon after some morning rain.
Thank you, Chris. The Food Bank of Delaware's annual Thanksgiving food drive is underway, and this year they say the need is greater than ever. In October, previously waived work requirements for SNAP benefits are back in place, and now federal rules starting November 1st will extend it to more groups. The food bank is seeking donations to help ensure every Delawarean can enjoy a holiday meal.
No matter what a person's situation is with the SNAP benefits and those changes, we still want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to share the holidays with their loved ones, to experience being around a common table, and to not have to go without food.
Food Bank says it's now accepting donations. People can host a food drive, donate online, or drop off non-perishable holiday items directly at the food bank.
Up next on CoastTV News today, oysters to prevent erosion. We'll show you some of the work the Delaware Center for the Inland Bays is doing to protect Delaware's shores after the recent nor'easter. We'll be right back. The Delaware Center for the Inland Bays held an open house at the Frankfort Library. Guests learned about measures being taken to help protect the Delmarva coast, such as oyster beds and concrete structures used to prevent erosion, as well as things they can do in their own backyard. Organizers say that after heavy storms like what we had this week, education on coastal preservation is important.
So it's very important for the environment. Sea level rise is a real thing, and if more of the community knows about it and know how to protect against the sea level rise, the erosion that's happening, it will just greatly improve the community.
The Center for the Inland Bays will hold another open house on October 21st at the Georgetown Public Library.
Well, as you make your way out the door this morning, you will feel that chill in the air as we take a live look into Ocean City, where it is 56 degrees, quite breezy at our beaches with the gusts upwards of 25, 35 miles an hour. So we start off in the upper 40s to low 50s, but beautiful sunshine, a brisk afternoon. Fenwick Island and Ocean City only reaching the lower 60s as we make our way into Lewis. A windy but sunny afternoon in both Lewis and Rehoboth, with highs only reaching the lower 60s as we make our way over into Cambridge and Crisfield. Wall-to-wall sunshine, break out the sunglasses. It is going to be a breezy afternoon as well, with a little bite to the air with temperatures around 60 degrees. Congratulations to Rob Stransky of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. You're the winner of our Coast TV weather umbrella. And as always, you can get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. Coming up in the next half hour, I'll have your 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, local programs get power boost. What areas across Sussex County are getting new help from Delmarva Power?
Also, housing resource review in Georgetown. We'll tell you how the town is seeking to boost up services for people who are recovering from substance use.
And win for offshore wind battle. The update coming out of Fenwick Island after efforts to stall a lawsuit were denied. Coast TV News today will be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Fenwick Island and the wind. The town assesses the latest situation over the alternative energy project as a lawsuit appears to move forward during the federal government shutdown.
Georgetown Recovery Resources.
I think the important thing is to have the community involved.
How the town is applying policy for services assisting people recovering from substance abuse.
Good Thursday morning, Delmarva. It's a chilly start in the 40s. Grab the coat today. It's going to be a brisk, sunny day. I'll have details on how long the cool temperatures stick around.
Green grants given, where tens of thousands of dollars is being funneled in the effort of protecting the local environment.
This is Coast TV News Today.
October 16th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
It's 5:30 a.m. as we hit the Friday Eve part of the week.
We are at the latter half of the week. It was a busy beginning of the week, so hopefully it's just smooth.
Which is probably the way you like it. You like to kind of ease into the weekend.
Though a busy Monday can be tough sometimes. But yeah, easing into the weekend is definitely better. Well, we're experiencing better weather as well, Chris, as we make our way through the end of the week. So that is good news, Chris.
Oh yeah, hey there, Lisa and Matt. Plus, good morning, Delmarva. Much calmer this morning, but much chillier. And this is going to be the start of some pretty chilly mornings as we go into the weekend here as we take a live look into Rehoboth Beach. 55 degrees there, winds out of the northeast, 14 sustained with some gusts upwards of 25, 30. Check out the 24-hour temperature change across the peninsula. 13 degrees cooler in Dover, 11 degrees cooler Georgetown, 13 degrees cooler in Ocean City than where we were at this time 24 hours ago. We're holding at 56 in Ocean City, 45 Harrington, 48 Laurel, and we're at 48 in Georgetown. You can see those winds, as I mentioned, gusting 31 Indian River Inlet to 25 in Rehoboth Beach. We are clear. We are dry under the influence of high pressure. That front is well off the coast that pushed through yesterday. This high funneling in some dry Canadian air across the region. So it is a chilly start out there, 45 degrees to start. So you'll need that jacket and hoodie this morning. By the afternoon, only going to do lower 60s this afternoon under sunny skies. So there's going to be a bit of a bite in the air with winds gusting upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour. So we stay clear, dry through today and tomorrow. And we're going to stay dry into the weekend. Only we'll bump the temperatures up a bit through the weekend. The mildest day looks to be Sunday, where we'll get those temperatures back up into the mid 70s. We are going to talk about our next rain chances. That doesn't arrive until late Sunday through Monday. We'll talk about that coming up a bit later on in the newscast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour. Later this morning, Fenwick Island's Environmental Committee is expected to review an update on offshore wind. Today's meeting takes place 2 weeks after a judge denied the Trump administration's motion to stall the case during the government shutdown, meaning the lawsuit with U.S. Wind will continue. Fenwick Island is a plaintiff along with Ocean City. It's a lawsuit challenging alternative energy company U.S. Wind's attempt to build a wind farm off of our coast and use Delaware resources for power cables connecting to an electric substation.
Delaware lawmakers are taking new steps to crack down on chronic drunk driving. Today, a newly formed task force is taking on issues such as prevention and accountability. They're expected to review data on arrests and convictions under Delaware's DUI laws. The group could also look at potential law changes and the use of new technology to detect drug-related impairment.
New this morning, Kristen Link-Young has officially been confirmed and sworn in as the state's new health secretary. You can see here Governor Matt Meyer and Young after her confirmation by the Delaware Senate. According to the governor's office, Secretary Young will create ways to strengthen public health and access to care and modernize services. She succeeds Josette Manning, who recently became state director for U.S. Senator Chris Coons.
Happening today in Georgetown, the new Supportive Housing Issues Committee will continue work on the existing supportive houses in the town. Supportive housing is for people recovering from substance use disorders and those who are out of jail and remain on parole. On the agenda today, there's a review of town codes and service providers and agencies. According to the group, the goal is to not add more, but to make sure they are making the best use of resources and getting people out of the streets.
In Milford, Delaware Governor Matt Meyer and other state leaders are gathering today to celebrate a major investment in affordable housing. This is to kick off the Mississippian Station 2 project. Organizers say the effort will rehabilitate 32 existing apartments and add 16 new affordable units on South Walnut Street. This is made possible by $3.4 million from Delaware's newest low-income housing tax credit awards. State leaders say funding will create and preserve more than 100 affordable homes in Wilmington, Lewis, Georgetown, and Milford.
New this morning, Delmarva Power and Sustainable Maryland are awarding $45,000 to 4 organizations they say are focused on environmental stewardship and community resiliency.
According to Delmarva Power, the Delaware Center for the Inland Bays is receiving $10,000 for a Bays to Backyards community program. Millsboro gets $10,000 for an emergency generator that keeps water and wastewater services running during storms.
And $10,000 to the First State Community Action Agency in Georgetown to build a new community resiliency park and outdoor learning space.
A young great white shark was pinged off of Delmarva. Shark tracker and researcher O-Search say crossed the 9-foot 1-inch 377-pound shark was last pinged close to Porpoise Banks off of Accomack County on October 15th. O-Search says on October 13th he was off of Dewey Beach. The shark was first tagged in Nova Scotia on October 3rd.
And we're now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the federal government shutdown is slowing the U.S. economy.
New overnight, despite trade deals, some experts say tariffs have been putting upward pressure on prices. They say inflation can slow growth.
Yeah, Amy Kiley shows us how now the U.S. economy faces a new challenge.
I've seen numbers that are starting to hurt the economy.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the federal government shutdown is slowing the U.S. economy. His department estimates the impact is about $15 billion a week. The congressional impasse is dragging on. Lawmakers can't agree on whether to negotiate, let alone on how to fund the government.
I think this will be the longest shutdown in the history of ever.
The Federal Reserve Chair says he's starting to worry the shutdown will make it harder for the Fed to do its job. It relies on data to assess inflation and the broader economy.
We'll start to miss that data, and particularly the October data. If this goes on for a while, they won't be collecting it, and it could become more challenging.
Many experts say tariffs were starting to put pressure on the U.S. economy even before the shutdown. A new IMF report predicts they'll partly cause it to grow more slowly than the rest of the world in the coming months.
Tariffs tend to be significantly worse for the country that imposes them than the countries they're imposed upon.
The IMF says trade deals are lessening the blow from tariffs. Experts say that helped the U.S. stock market reach new record highs before trade tensions with China sent it on a roller coaster ride.
We do have these, I hate to say it, boom and bust periods. And invariably, what goes up does come down at some point.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Dozens of reporters left the Pentagon Wednesday rather than agree to new reporting rules. New outlets were nearly unanimous in rejecting new rules imposed by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth that would leave journalists vulnerable to expulsion if they sought to report on information that had not been approved by Hegseth for release. You can see as boxes of documents lined a Pentagon corridor and reporters carried chairs, a copy machine, and books to the parking lot from suddenly abandoned workplaces.
And we still got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, popular spread becomes a frozen treat. This and what other new desserts you can expect from Nutella's parent company.
Also, Wednesday Night Blues, how Delaware's primetime affair on ESPN was not a memorable one as the Hens lose at Jacksonville State. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Good Thursday morning, Delmarva. The weekend is in sight, and we are stepping outside this morning to quite a chilly, dry air mass on Delmarva. We're at 53 right now in Lewis. Winds out of the north, sustained anywhere between about 10 to 15. We're seeing some gusts at the coast upwards of 30. Plenty of sunshine through the morning as temperatures hold in the low 50s through about 9 a.m. We're at 52 in Long Neck, 48 Georgetown, 46 in Bridgeville. See the wind flow out of the north, gusts to 22 Rehoboth, 31 Indian River Inlet. We are clear, we're dry, under the influence of high pressure. And as we take a look at the current fall foliage map, the leaf changes, we're beginning to see some moderate to near peak changes of the leaves throughout most of Jersey. But here on Delmarva, we are seeing some patchy to little to none to the far southern portion of the peninsula. But as we push along here, we'll begin to see those leaves change in the weeks ahead. Wall-to-wall sunshine from Lewis, Rehoboth to Dewey, but a windy afternoon with those gusts upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour, and a cool afternoon at that, with temperatures in the low 60s. Coming up, we will talk about your weekend ahead and when that next chance of rain rolls in. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. In Millsboro, DelDOT says there are closures in order to reconstruct the roadway. We're talking Godwin School Road. This is between Rubble Road and Millsboro Highway. That's closing starting on October 27th and going through to November 2nd. It's the area that we're showing you right here on your screen. And DelDOT says that detours will go into place.
An area behind the Milton Theater is undergoing construction to what used to be the Tech Workshop before serving as the Tech Workshop. That space was the kitchen of Rocky's Restaurant. The Milton Theater says what is currently a pile of rubble will be the brand new education wing at the theater.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
There's just a week left in the regular season for Delaware girls volleyball, so last night's match between Cape Henlopen and Appoquinimink was super important. It went to 5 sets, but the Jaguars beat the Vikings thanks largely to senior outside hitter Jaslyn Dawkins. Whether it was a spike, an ace, or a game-winning kill, Dawkins always stepped up when Appo needed her to. The Jags improved to 10-2 with the win, while the Vikings are now 7-5. And this Monday at 8 o'clock, the Governor's Challenge Selection Show tips off on the Delmarva Sports Network. 6 divisions, over 100 teams, 5 days of the best high school basketball talent, all coming to the Eastern Shore. We'll break down the matchups, highlight the stars, and get you ready for the nation's largest holiday basketball tournament. Don't miss it. The Governor's Challenge Selection Show this Monday at 8. Only on the Delmarva Sports Network and the DSN app. And folks, that'll do it for sports. Have a great day.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 5:30, it's Scoops and Scores. Then at 6, your game of the night, Wicomico High School faces Kent Island in high school football. Then you can catch the final score at 11. Along with that Y-High and Kent Island game, here are your DSN Plus exclusives. At 6, James M. Bennett hosts Queen Anne's County in high school football. Also at 6, Salesianum takes on Appoquinimink in boys soccer. At 6:30, CSD battle in Snow Hill for football. And at 6:30, Cape Henlopen hosts Cesar Rodney, also in boys soccer.
Last night, the Delaware Blue Hens playing some primetime football at Jacksonville State. First quarter, the Gamecocks' Cam Cook with some power into the end zone, and the Hens are down 7-0. In the second, Delaware going for it on 4th and 4 from their own 43. Nick Manacucci hits Jake Thaw near the sticks. Thaw is stripped. And there's Caleb Nix going down the sideline for a touchdown, making it a 14-0 game. The Blue Hens finally get on the board when Byron Ellison scores in the second quarter, but there was not a comeback here. Delaware loses 38-25 and drops to 1-2 in conference play. The Hens are back home next Wednesday against Middle Tennessee State. Game 3 American League Championship Series. There is Cape Henlopen Viking product Mason Fluharty on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. Fluharty pitches the final inning as the Jays get a 13-4 win over the Mariners. Seattle leads the best of 7 American League Championship Series 2-1, and Game 4 is tonight.
And get ready for another week in the NFL regular season. We have your Sunday Night Football right here on Coast TV. This week you can catch the Atlanta Falcons as they take on San Francisco 49ers. Coverage begins at 7. Then stay right here for Coast TV news following the game.
Music, movie, and streaming news now. Here's Douglas Hyde with today's Hollywood Minute.
A sing-along version of K-pop Demon Hunters is returning to the big screen for Halloween. The hugely popular animated film is back in theaters on a limited run from October 31st to November 2nd. It's Netflix's most watched movie ever, and the streamer has created lyric videos just in case fans want to practice first at home.
Nothing is ever easy, but we learned so much, and that's why we wanted to give you a glimpse into the spirit of the making of the film.
Want a deep dive into the making of a blockbuster? James Cameron leads the way in Fire and Water, making the Avatar films. The new 2-part documentary gives a behind-the-scenes look at Avatar: The Way of Water and a sneak peek at the upcoming Avatar: Fire and Ash. Fire and Water debuts on Disney Plus November 7th.
Tune in to what tonight has got to offer. Listen, we may never be here again.
Sammy Hagar's new live album was recorded this year during his residency at Las Vegas's Park MGM. The veteran rocker performed more Van Halen songs there than he has in decades. Hagar says he and bandmate Michael Anthony figured it was time.
Once Eddie died and Alex said he sold all his equipment, it was like, okay, there's never going to be a Van Halen reunion. That's done. So Mike and I just looked at each other, high-fived, and said, let's go out and do it. And oh, it's such a pleasure singing 5150, Summer Nights.
In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, we're waking up to temperatures in the 40s this morning on Delmarva. Plenty of sunshine through the morning and into the afternoon. Not going to warm us up all that much. We're going to have a breezy northwest wind. Highs today, lower 60s. Plenty of sunshine. I'll talk about how long the cool, dry weather is going to stick around in my full forecast right after the break.
The time is now 5:49 and we are taking a live look outside at Salisbury this morning. Chris, another day with no rain on our cameras, and that is a good change from earlier this week. Cooler than yesterday though. We said yesterday was beautiful, warm outside. Today you're going to need a jacket and a long sleeve. Yeah, despite sunny skies, there's going to be a chill in the air today, especially with the wind gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour we're going to have today. And we're waking up temperatures in the 40s. We're at 45, Milford, 48, Georgetown. We're seeing 46 there in Delmar, 52 Long Neck, and we are at 55 in Rehoboth Beach. Winds right now gusting upwards of about 30 miles an hour Indian River Inlet to 21 in Ocean City. We still have those small craft advisories up for the Delaware coast. Those run through about 6 o'clock Friday from Ocean City down through Chickateague. Those run through 7 o'clock on Friday. And then through the bay, so still seeing some winds upwards of 25 miles an hour over the waters. And that advisory is up through noon tomorrow. So some frost advisories well to our west across Lancaster, Dauphin County, Pennsylvania. I don't think we'll see any frost tonight. I think it's going to be a bit too breezy, but we may see some as we go into the start of the weekend. But high pressure over the Great Lakes, funneling in that cool, dry Canadian air right down the East Coast. And we're going to see plenty of dry air through the end of the week. We're at 55 right now in Rehoboth, dew point 44, so it's very dry out there. Clear skies through the morning, 53 by around 9 a.m. On our way to highs around 60 in Lewis, 62 Rehoboth. We'll see a high of 62 Georgetown, 64 Cambridge, 62 in Snow Hill, and 60 in Ocean City. So there's those winds out of the northwest through the afternoon. We stay clear through the evening and overnight. Even colder tomorrow morning. I think some upper 30s across the area, especially away from the coast, to lower 40s. And then by Friday afternoon, the sunshine continues with temperatures still below average in the low 60s.
As we get into Saturday morning, I think we could get some radiational cooling there, clear skies, calm winds, could see some patchy frost there early in the morning. Winds, as I mentioned, gusting upwards of about 25 to 35 miles an hour out of the northwest throughout the afternoon today. And those winds still a bit breezy overnight into early tomorrow morning. But then as we go into Friday afternoon, I think the winds relax a bit, but still on the cool side with temperatures in the low 60s. The good news is we stay dry through the end of the week and into the weekend. It's not until overnight Sunday into early Monday morning where we see our next system come in, bringing rain to the area. 68 Saturday, so very nice weekend. 75, a bit milder into Sunday. Ahead of that system that will bring rain, maybe even a brief period of some heavier rain into early Monday morning. And then behind it, the system pulls up to the northeast. Drier air filters in by Tuesday. So we're at 62 today. Wall-to-wall sunshine through the day today. 39 overnight under starry skies. Keep the sunshine in play through Friday. Still on the cool side. And then the weekend looking very nice, 68. So seasonable temperatures to start. A bit milder into Sunday. And then watching for that chance of rain to start Monday. I think we clear out by the afternoon and we bump it back up to 70 degrees by Tuesday. Matt.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. In Milton, the police department says a man is facing charges after being arrested for strangling another person. Milton police say a child was present when this occurred, and they say the accused man, 25-year-old Tyler Graham, ran away before police got on the scene, but he was later arrested and charged, including with child endangerment.
After nearly a decade, Snapple is bringing back an iconic look to store coolers for a limited time, and only in New York City, Snapple's glass bottles are now available for purchase through December. The drink company says the decision comes after an overwhelming demand from customers. 5 flavors are available in glass, including apple, kiwi strawberry, peach tea, zero sugar peach tea, and lemon tea.
Nutella lovers will eat the chocolate hazelnut spread on pretty much anything, and they'll soon be able to enjoy it as ice cream. According to a press release, the frozen treat promises to deliver the same taste of Nutella with swirls of Nutella in every bite. And parent company Wells Enterprises also announced a new Kinder Bueno frozen treat coming to U.S. stores.
The time is now 5:54, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is a true protector, maybe that likes the beach, and there we go on your screen. We got Walter, folks. As you can see, Walter is doing what he does best, being a great lookout. That's, of course, whenever he's not sleeping. Walter was submitted to us by David in Lewis.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Right there's the QR code at the top. You can scan that to get your friends to CoastTV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 5:57, and we are going to take another look at our forecast. It is much better than the start of the week.
It is, and Chris, you are tracking some temperatures in the 40s.
Yeah, we have some chilly, dry air in place this morning. Temperatures beginning in the 40s. Plenty of sunshine through the morning and afternoon. We're only going to get up to about 62 degrees this afternoon. It's going to be a breezy afternoon as well, with gusts upwards of 25 to 35 miles an hour. And we're going to see this cool, dry conditions continue into Friday and looking pretty nice into the weekend as well. 68 seasonable, and then we're looking at milder temperatures by Sunday, 75. The good news is I think the rain holds off until late Sunday night into early Monday morning.
Yeah, Chris, those cooler temperatures definitely noticeable when you get out the door.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday, it's going to feel like summertime, Matt. Almost.
Soaking up those last, maybe one more beach day?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. All right, well, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what we got coming up in our next hour, the 6 o'clock hour here on CoastTV News Today. And we've got Coastal Court Clash. That's a lawsuit on the wind farm project about to continue. What's taking place today in one town that's part of this legal action? That and more when we continue with CoastTV News Today.